In the workshop, a Warco lathe, part 3. A small and extremely inexpensive package arrives. Are the contents any good, I wonder, as it was so cheap? And can it be successfully fitted to the lathe? A comparison between this and the original part. You can tell this is cheap by the misprints on the label. I'm not concerned with the misprints on the label heading. The kit includes one tool post, one 3/8 of an inch boring holder, one 1/2 inch capacity cut-off blade holder, two 1/4 to 1/2 inch turning and facing holders, two mounting bolts M8 and M10, one 3/8 of an inch boring bar, and even 4 spare grub screws. And quite a nicely made box when I look at it closely. And here are the parts inside the box. I'll leave this shot on screen for a while so you can take it in. Oh yes, and by the way, this entire set cost just over £36, and that was using Amazon Prime. I wanted it quick so that I could make this video. I try not to buy cheap stuff because usually it's rubbish and it falls apart in a short time. For the application that I require, this is a sacrificial part. The tool post turret, the operating mechanism, as well as the 4 individual tool holders are made from aluminium. My logic tells me that on this small lathe, if anything goes wrong, these are the parts that will break, if any of the turning operations go wrong. Currently, I'm actually quite impressed with this. The plungers that hold the tools in place have an O-ring in the middle to stop them falling out. And all of the components fit together beautifully. I looked at various small tool holders. I have one a bit bigger than this, but it's a standard steel one. It's fitted to my Myford ML7R in my main workshop, and that was quite expensive. On the Myford quick change tool post, just one of the tool holders is about as much as this entire set cost. This clip shows the parts fitted into the foam in the box, and even the foam is good quality too. The first problem, it will not fit onto the top slide, because there is a spigot sticking out of the top slide to engage the original tool holder. And here is the original tool holder. It's a 4-way tool post which holds 4 cutting tools. This means that you are 4 times more likely to cut yourself when working on things in the lathe. This cute little aluminium block should be okay. Maybe it won't. If it isn't good, I will throw it in the bin. If it is okay, I will use it. My friend Andrew, who works with aluminium frequently because he builds aluminium engines, showed me some special aircraft aluminium, which is very hard indeed. I doubt that this thing is made from aircraft aluminium, but it's not important because I don't intend to do any serious turning on this machine. It's just going to be useful for cleaning up parts and shortening bits and pieces, making washers, etc. According to my digital caliper, the diameter of this spigot is 80 millimeters. The hole in the bottom of the aluminium block is nowhere near this, so I took the aluminium tool post up to the workshop and drilled the hole a bit bigger using a hole cutter. I didn't bother showing this. What I'm showing at the moment is the way that the tool holders fit on the tool post, and this is quite alright, I suppose. I have to admit they are a really good fit, with no rattle or shake whatsoever. At this stage I was curious as to whether this system was going to work. Here's a shot of one of the standard tool holders, and as you can see, once again, it's very well machined. And this is the boring bar tool holder, and I couldn't believe that I got a boring bar with it, a carbide tipped boring bar. And here are 4 long Allen head grub screws. These are for the adjustment mechanism on the top of each of the tool holders. I really can't understand what's going on here. The box is good quality, even the foam is good quality. There has to be a catch somewhere. And believe it or not, very quickly I found the first problem. As I was tightening one of the tools, the Allen key broke in half. But to be fair, I have had this happen on other Allen keys, not from the same source. Here's another look at the way the boring bar fits into the holder, and it's looking good. Here are the 4 holders in their entirety. one with the boring bar fitted, the other two ready to accept standard lathe tools, and the one at the front right is to hold a parting tool blade. I've temporarily fitted one of the lathe tools that I got with the lathe. It's not a very good quality set, but I do have some very good quality small lathe tools in my other workshop. In this clip I'm showing the difference between the original tool post on the left and the new one on the right. The idea with the left-hand one is you fit a tool at each corner like this and then rotate it to select the tool you want to use. Here it is sat on its original mounting, but it's very nasty with all those tool points sticking out at every corner. If I was threading anything in this lathe, I would have to entirely remove the tool post, not forgetting all of the packings that you need to get the tools to the correct centre height. With this new tool post, you simply turn the handle and slide off the tool holder in an upward direction. All of my lathes have quick change tool posts because they save time. And now this one, which is lathe number 4, is no exception. I took the aluminium tool post up to the main workshop and using a hole cutter, yes, a hole cutter, I made it bigger. It's just over 18mm now. My friend Andrew, who likes machining and has a lot of very good test equipment, said he would bore the hole out should I require it, but I preferred to use a hole cutter just because it's quicker and it doesn't inconvenience anyone else but myself. I also shortened the M10 Allen bolt at the same time because it was too long. And here is the tool post fitted in position on the top slide. I think it's time to test it. I wanted to proceed with caution, so here I'm using a piece of scrap brass that I found in my workshop. You will notice though I'm taking quite deep cuts. And I'm not getting any chattering whatsoever. The tool post is very rigid and the tool is a carbide tip tool anyway, cutting beautifully. What I am concerned about, however, is the speed of the power traverse. It is a tiny bit too fast, to say the least. In the next episode, I'm going to try and reduce the longitudinal feed speed by changing the size of at least one of the gears in the gear train that drives the feed. Although looking at this, maybe I shouldn't bother. As I've already mentioned, I do not intend to do a lot of serious turning on this machine. And the finish that I got on this piece of brass really is okay. I wanted to part off this piece of brass just as a test. And luckily, for this test, I found a very blunt parting tool in the box of tools that came with the lathe. I didn't bother sharpening it, I thought I'd use it as it is. In this clip, I'm setting the height of the parting tool in the tool holder, using a point of a centre fitted into the tailstock as a reference. Now it's time to see if it works. The cuts are slightly intermittent, but that's because the tool is not sharp at all. There is no sign whatsoever of the tool post or the tool holder moving when it's cutting. At the moment I am very pleased and surprised with the quality of this tool holder system. This small Warco lathe is going to be fitted into this workshop that is built onto the house, so I think it's a good idea to give it a clean up. That is it for this episode. Until the next one, stay safe, stay healthy. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.